So Paul's erratic behavior also was getting worse as he was getting older. His father ended up passing away and he attended his funeral. And this was like May of 1997. And to his father's funeral, Paul showed up wearing a lime green shirt, shorts, tennis shoes, which is fine. That's fine if that's what your family member wanted. But to top it all off, he wore a Burger King crown on his head and he kept calling himself King Paul. And he's like, you need to refer to me as King Paul. Obviously, the people who were there were like, why is he doing this? Like, what's he doing? What are you doing? Like, now is not the time for King Paul. But he refused to change. He was like, no, this is who I am. Live with it. I'm King Paul. I wear lime green. As if there wasn't enough going on with Paul, he also had a really bad temper. A short temper, maybe too, is what I should say. But he was very impulsive and just a very angry man. I mean, there were a lot of people who were afraid of him, like family members. In 1994, Paul somehow got a girlfriend. I don't know. But they were living together. She later said that, living with him was like walking on eggshells. You just never knew what you're going to get. But that one night, he just went completely psycho on her. He picked up her cat and threw it across the room. And then, according to the girlfriend, Paul got so angry with her that he threw her on the couch. He got on top of her and was holding a pillow over her head, just smothering her with a pillow. And he didn't let go until that last second where she was like, I'm gonna fucking die, And then he let go. So scary. And this ended their relationship. Linda, his sister, was also afraid of him because he often, growing up, would just threaten to kill her, all the time. Plus, there were accusations of sexual assault. And then his other sister, Janet, later testified in court against him, saying that he also sexually assaulted her, but that he also threatened her with a knife, trying to make sure she wouldn't say anything, I guess. But people didn't like being around Paul. So you know what Paul did? He's like, you know what? F you guys. I'm going to Nashville to become a country musician. Yeah, it's going to work out for me. It's funny because I couldn't find anything in his upbringing about him loving country music and playing the guitar and stuff like that. But okay, maybe he's going to learn. I support dreams and passions. So he gets to Nashville and you know what? You want to be famous, that's great, but you still got to pay the bills. So he has to get a job. And he gets a job working as a dishwasher at Shoney's, which is an American diner. I've never been to Shoney's. Is it good? It's not the point of today's story, but I was like, what's Shoney's? So he gets this job working at Shoney's, and Paul, he's friendly with the other employees. And I guess he had talked to 2 other employees about some ideas he had. So he tells these other employees hey, what do you guys think about robbing a fast food restaurant at night when there would be no witnesses? Because his $100 a week salary was just not cutting it. So it's not clear what the other employees said, but it was definitely on Paul's mind. And he was like, I don't really need you guys to help me execute this. I'll just do it. So King Paul went and bought a .32 caliber revolver from the pawn shop. And then a few months later, he purchased a .25 caliber automatic handgun. Oh no, he purchased 2 .25 caliber automatic handguns. And then the guy who was selling it to him was like, didn't you just buy a gun? What? And Paul told the seller, yeah, I didn't like how the other one shot. I just want these instead. But he still had all 3 guns. So in February of 1997, during his shift at Shoney's, Paul, I guess, lost his temper over something and threw a dish at a fellow employee, which led to Paul getting fired. Now, he was pissed. Not even pissed. He was raging, okay? And you know what? He was like, I'm going to do something about it. He felt like he had the motivation, and the weapons to set the stage for the crimes that he would become known for nationally. I mean, he goes full psycho after this.